All right, so we're here on episode 16. Episode 16, we got Jazzie in the house.
Hey guys.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into it as we always do. Tell us your story on how you got into the henna business and all that good stuff.
Oh man. I mean, I've been doing henna for maybe like 7.5 years now. I think it kind of just fell in my lap. I've always been pretty artistic growing up. I was like that kid in school that was drawing pictures for people to put in their binders, you know, the clear binders. So I was always really artistic, and I kind of started dabbling in it on myself for a little bit. And there was a vendor at Big Hat Days that needed an artist, and one of my friends recommended me, and I was like, I guess I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And there I learned about like natural henna, like how you can make it, and then I just loved it, and then I made a page, and it just took off.
Dang, okay, girl. Look at the blessings, for sure. Running a henna business must be a lot of work, for sure. We know that. Can you tell us how you balance the creative side with other sides of the business?
I mean, I feel like I barely balance it. Really? I try, you know, but it's mainly just like setting boundaries for myself. And now that I have a baby, I have to set boundaries. And I think even me just having the baby was the universe's way of telling me to just sit down, you know? So really just setting boundaries and trying to stick to my schedule. I've always been like a people pleaser. Yeah. So sometimes when someone's like, oh, can you get me in for this? Like, please, I'm going out of town. Like, it's hard for me to say no.
Right.
But I've learned to say no, because there are instances where you might even come across someone who might not even be worth, you know, they say not all money is good money.
Right.
So you have to kind of like pick and choose sometimes, like who you kind of go above and beyond for sometimes.
Right.
And yeah, just trying to set those boundaries for myself. I think with everything in life, outside of even business as well too, but just learning how to say no. Yeah. Really, because, and I know as business owners, you probably understand that it's hard to say no.
It's definitely hard. Like, I get that like today. I took a client before this.
And, girl.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to be here anyways. And I'm like, girl, like, sometimes you just got to say no. It's just so hard because you try to please everybody, especially when they're your regulars and things like that. But I've learned that even my mom's like, you need to slow down.
Yeah. Like, and then you go home and you're the one that's stressed.
Yeah.
You know?
I've noticed, like, even recently, like, my blood pressure was up higher.
Oh, no.
And my mom was like, you're tripping. Like, you need to slow down. You're running. You got your daughter. You got the two businesses. And she's like, you're doing too much. And that kind of gave me the, I need to step back. I need to, like, start slowing down. I need to start saying no. Can't say yes to everybody. And it's okay.
And I think even being surrounded by people who will kind of like check you in that sense, right? Or even just take you out of like your work element so that you remember like how good it feels to be more like relaxed and not working or be on your phone, responding to people all the time, because even that, you know, in itself is a lot of work too, a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah. My daughter be checking me all the time. She's like, Mommy, can you just get off your phone? I'm like, dang. Like, it brings you back to reality, like, dang, I am working all the time. Let me, like, chill out and spend time with her, so, for sure.
You're right.
Yep. All right, so what is your go-to method for staying inspired and keeping your designs fresh?
I mean, they don't really go hand in hand, but as far as being creative, definitely music. Oh. Yeah, music is really big for me because I do a lot of, like, these creative shoots where it's kind of like music video inspired, kind of like Bianca as well too. I'm sure said the same thing. Listen to music, and then when I listen to music or I watch certain music videos, I'm like, oh my God, I can incorporate some henna in that, or you know. So that really inspires me a lot. I do get in those creative blocks where I just feel like I'm not creative anymore, where it makes me not want to work in a sense. But I feel like it's just now because I don't have the TV as often because the baby takes over the TV. Right. But yeah, when I dive into music and I really listen to it, not just have it playing in the background, when I really listen to music, it really does inspire me and helps to keep me creative, because like my mind, it just keeps going. You know, it just never stops. I look calm most of the time. I always use this analogy of being like a duck, where when you're on the water, you're kind of like calm, but underwater, your feet's like paddling like crazy. So I feel like I'm always like that. I'm always thinking of like different ideas, and you know, that could be a blessing as well too, but it can also be a flaw because then you never get shit done.
Right.
Because there's too much things going on. You know?
So when you were saying about music, give me 5 artists that you got on your playlist right now.
Ooh. I think it kind of depends on my mood, but I always usually have like Chris Brown, her.
Oh, I love him.
I went through a really big Blast phase,
Okay,
especially the past like 2 years. It's kind of like fallen off a little bit, but he's still on my playlist. Janae Aiko.
Oh, yeah. She's a vibe, for sure.
She's a vibe for sure. I listen to a lot of Lil Baby.
Okay. What? Okay.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Lil Baby or like female rappers. I can't even give you 5.
She's like, no, my whole playlist is a vibe for sure.
I guess it just depends on my mood. Yeah. And then one that I've been listening to heavy is Maida. I actually just went to LA to go do her henna. Oh. I discovered her through Chris Brown's new album.
Really?
Yeah, she signed to Rock Nation.
Okay.
But I've just been listening to her music a lot. It's just a vibe. It gives the same vibes as like, Janae Aiko.
Really?
Her,
okay, I'm going to look because I don't think I've...
Beautiful voice.
Okay, I'm going to look. You just put me on. Thank you.
Yeah. But my playlist like at work, it's always 2000s R&B.
Girl, me too. 2000s
R&B.
Always.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I can't get into like new music really. Like of course some stuff, some mainstream stuff, but you won't ever catch me listening to the radio.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
I can't relate.
I think the last time I listened to radio, like when we were doing like commercials on the radio, so I would like pop in to hear my commercial.
Yeah.
But then I still would be like, I can't get into this. Okay, back to Dog Score.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about. We know that starting a business is not easy. Maintaining a business is not easy. Let's talk about some of the biggest challenges you faced when you first launched your henna art business, and then talk about a little bit of your transition from your 9 to 5.
I think the biggest obstacle that I've faced was in the beginning, of course. I mean, even now you still go through things, but in the beginning I struggled with balancing my time because I did work a full-time job,
right,
in addition to doing henna, being a service provider at that, where you actually have to be there and give the service, and it takes time and artistry and things like that. So I think balancing my time is probably the most difficult thing, and of course, content creating as it is for any business owner.
Right.
But I think that I've gotten a lot better, but it can still be a struggle because you find new things that you enjoy doing, like being with your baby or, traveling or being in the studio and things like that. So I'm working on it.
Right.
I'm working on it every day. It's getting better, but like I said, it's just new things come all the time. So
yeah. Have you ever thought about like entering? Have you ever thought about like hiring like an intern or like an assistant to assist with like the content creation that would kind of help out a little bit?
Yes, but my toxic trait,
you got to be hands-on, huh? It's like your content.
I like things done like a certain way. So they say if you want something done, ask for help. If you want it done a certain way, do it yourself.
Right.
So I just do it myself. I'm sure there's people that could do nice things, but the creative in me is going to nitpick, and it's like
that's not how you want it.
Yeah. So if you ask someone to do something, and whether it's a nice job or not, you feel like you go in there and you redo it, it's kind of like a waste of time because you're doing it twice when you can just get it done right the first time.
Yeah.
I do hire assistants for when I do like big events where it's like really, really busy, since I'm the main service provider, but they're just helping to answer questions and talk to people and help me set up and things like that. But
you're like content creating, I got it.
Yeah. But I mean, I do consider it often, but I always go back to nah,
right.
I got it. It's cool. Yeah.
It's hard because they'll come back and it totally 100% is not your vibe.
Have you tried it?
I do have interns, but I'll do more of like still post type help.
Yeah.
Content creating, I feel you on that. I do. Because what I'm thinking about, I'm like, they can't portray your brand unless they really, really understand your brand.
Yeah. Like they have to be around for a long time. And I feel like they have to know you as a person, like almost like a twin.
Right.
You know what I mean? They have to know you and how you talk and how you present yourself and how you like things, your style. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We working on it, y'all. If you think you know us, come interview. No, I'm playing. Okay, so tell us about a funny or a memorable client story that you could share with your henna art?
Ooh, memorable.
I know that you be booked
A
and
lot.
busy, so I know that you got a ton of stories.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's memorable because it was a lot, but I had a bride in Malibu area, and this girl wanted 6 portraits, 2 of them being a dog, another 2 being elephants, another 2 being a bride and a groom, which already takes a long time.
Wait. As the art?
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah, like, they get like the full arms.
Yeah.
And granted, it's like when somebody wants you for you, booking is so easy. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do whatever she wants, but she wanted 6 portraits. And, I did say like, okay, are you sure you want, that's going to be like real noisy? But she was for sure. So I did 6 portraits and I did do it pretty quick. So sometimes if the vibes are right, I work a little bit better. But yeah, 6 portraits.
Ooh, wow.
And then one of my most recent brides is a friend of mine from middle school.
Oh, I love that.
She married into a Punjabi family. And then all of her bridesmaids were all of my old friends from middle school. Like, we kicked it in a little group and stuff like that. So that was kind of like a full circle moment for me. And I just really, really enjoyed being there.
Mm-hmm.
It made me feel comfortable and at home. And that reflects in my work as well, too.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Oh, I love that. Full circle moments are always near and dear to my heart. I love that. Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about managing time between clients. We touched a little bit on it, but clients, marketing, and then personal life.
I mean, you got to get it in where it fits in.
Do you have any tips or something that works for you? Because not everything works, of course, for everybody.
Well, for me, because I'm a new mom now, I have a 11-month-old tomorrow. My me time is like 10:30 p.m. After she goes to bed, is done fighting her sleep.
Right.
Her dad's asleep. So that's like my alone time. But I usually use that alone time to work on content because I don't have time during the day without being interrupted.
Right.
And then really taking advantage of the time that I have outside of the house. So if I'm out at work and I'm working a long day, sometimes I'm just like, well, I might as well just stay out the house. And then I'll go to like Target or Burlington or whatever. And to me, that's like my self-care. It's walking around the stores without being like on a time limit, like not rushing. That's like my self-care. And I always make sure that I at least try to kind of get ready. At least lately, that's like a goal I've given to myself. And when I put that effort in to kind of get ready to feel better, because as moms, like you look at yourself different.
Absolutely.
Like no matter how good you look to other people, or even if you go back to the way you looked before, like you just look at yourself different, and it's hard.
It is.
So yeah, I just try to like just get ready so I feel good and I do good, and then it makes me want to even stay out the house.
Yeah.
And forget that you have a baby for an hour or
so.
It's
like it's my time. Self-care definitely is very important for anybody, but especially when you're a mom or a new mom, like just taking that time for you, because you kind of get lost in that, like being that service provider, especially being in a service-based business. You're providing that service, then you have to go home and essentially provide a service to your friends or your family, making sure they're taken care of. So,
are you someone who absorbs energy or stress?
I do.
Yeah, same.
I do.
And I feel like that makes it so much harder, because then it's like you don't feel like you're off of work. You go home and your shoulders are tense and you're thinking about what somebody said or how someone's feeling, and it kind of like just bothers you.
Yeah, I'll have to sometime. I really have been diving back into like journaling and really trying to get into meditation. Meditation's kind of a little struggle for me to like really master it, but journaling is my thing. Like that is very therapeutic.
Do you write a lot?
I do. I do. I have a whole bunch of journals. That's my thing. Sometimes I got to get that down, and it kind of you can feel the release. Like once you really are into it, like it's like, dang, I needed to do that.
I only really journaled during my pregnancy when I was just like writing stuff down. I struggle with meditation as well too. Yeah. But you probably like get sidetracked easily.
Yeah, I think it's just because we're so busy. Like I can't sit still.
Yeah, you're like, what? I'm sitting here. I could be doing something else. You're
like, oh my God. I'm like, what was that? And my mind just goes. So I'm a work in progress when it comes to that. But journaling, yes, that manifesting is definitely a big thing for me. Yeah.
I need to get back into doing that. So.
For sure. Yeah. It feels good.
It's sometimes I'm just like, I start writing and my hands hurt and I'm just like, okay, I just want to like finish already, you know?
Right.
But I think people in the beginning, as myself too, I thought that journaling, you had to write a lot. You know, and then I realized later, like, sometimes you can just go and just bullet point things, or you can just go doodle.
And come back to it.
Yeah, just
finish where you started.
Yeah, a couple things, a couple paragraphs, or a couple sentences, and you're good. Come back to it later. So
yeah, and I'll even like put stuff in like in my notes now, and I'll just transfer it over just so I don't lose it. Like if it's something throughout the day and it just comes to me, I'm just like, let me put this in my phone real quick. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, get into it, girl. Get you a notebook. What's the most rewarding part of being a henna artist?
I think just when they're really happy with my work. I think my favorite part of what I do is when somebody comes in for like a private appointment, or even if I go to them for a bridal. And they send me a text after. Not tell me when I'm there, but they send me a text after. You know, those long messages like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I loved your energy. Thank you for the talks that we had. I really needed it. Things like that. And I guess it's kind of like outside of, you know, the service that I provide, but in a sense, it is part of the service I provide because it's part of me, you know? But I would say it's probably the most rewarding because I feel like it's worth it. And I feel like it always comes after those days where you're like, fuck, I want to quit.
Right.
Like, should I go back to working?
Right.
You know, it always comes back after that. So I love it.
It definitely reminds you like that you are living in your purpose and okay, I'm making a difference out here. People appreciate me.
Yeah, like reassurance.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I love when I get those DMs or the text messages. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
You know, I'm a whole Cancer, so I'm like, want to cry and stuff. I'm like, okay, let me stop my little crybaby stuff.
Yeah. Just make sure you screenshot it and save it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that for sure. Like, walk us through a typical day of being a henna artist.
A normal work day.
Yeah.
So thankfully, as a business owner, sometimes a full day can only be a couple of hours. It can just be like 3 or 4 hours, you know? So like my average day would be waking up or woken up by the baby
Right.
and then, you know, feeding her, playing with her. I try to really spend time with her and really be present. And once her dad gets home from work around 2, I usually start my clients around 3. And then I'll be working for maybe like 3 or 4 hours and then take off, go get groceries, come home, cook, make sure the baby's fed, bathe her, put her to sleep, and then work on content or whatever. I mean, it sounds simple, but it ain't.
Right.
There's a whole lot of like in between.
Right.
There's a whole lot in between. My mind's always running. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's a Gemini in me or the creative in me, but that's like the typical day. Average day, I would say. But every day is different. Okay. Every day is different too. So it kind of just depends. But
so on a client, like typically, I know it depends on the piece, but typically, how long does it take to do a piece? Like if it's like
average, if it's like a private appointment, usually it's like maybe like 30 to 45 minutes, depending on a conversation. Yeah. Too, sometimes we can get lost in our conversation. It takes a little bit longer. I also do brows as well, which is what's been keeping me really busy. I do a lot of henna brows, which I allocate like 15 minutes for, but it takes like 7 or 8 minutes to do because it's like muscle memory. And then I do brow tattoos as well too. So that can be up to 2 hours.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay. Yeah. Expansion. I love that.
Doing a thing.
Okay. Well, y'all heard her. She need them brows done.
Book me.
Hit your girl up. What advice would you give someone that was thinking about getting into the henna business or henna artist business?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yes. Just do it. I actually teach trainings as well too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I do one-on-one trainings. And I would say just do it. Like with anything in life, just do it. Like, where people are just scared all the time, or they think that they're not going to be booked. I'm sure when you first started, you probably worried like, oh my God, what if I don't get booked?
Girl,
and you know, and sometimes there are those days or months where you're like, okay, am I gonna be able to like pay my bills because I've been so slow, you know? But you just gotta you have to really like manifest it. You have to want it, and you have to put in the practice.
Yeah, put in that work for sure.
The one thing I do tell my students is never stop practicing, whether that means like doodling on yourself, or if you're on the phone waiting on customer service and you have a piece of paper, just doodle on the corner of the paper, 5 minutes or something like that. Just
for sure.
Never stop creating, because the day that you stop practicing what you love is when you stop loving what you do. You know, and the same thing with me. If I stop doing henna or whatever, that's when I just feel like I'm in this funk where I'm like, do I even want to work?
Right.
You know, but when it picks back up, it gets better. Yeah. So always practice, no matter what it is, whether it's skincare, doing your research, or, you know, things like that. Just you have to keep practicing.
For sure. Yeah, I think just like kind of having a plan for like pivoting in the slow season. I think people wait till it's slow and then try to like scramble to figure out what we're gonna do, than to have like a game plan. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Like, luckily it got slow like in the body sculpting for a minute, so I'm in school to be an esthetician. So that pivot, so that when we're slow on one side, I can be over here doing facials, to have that room. And like,
that's good too, to have different things under your belt.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure you have something that it's like your thing, right? That you love or that you're known for. But I think having different things under your belt is, you know, you want to actually like expand your horizons and offer different things. And it kind of teaches you different things about like your current profession as well too. So it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But get out there and do it for sure. Get out there and do it. Another thing, just to jump off subject a little bit, is a lot of people be sleeping on Groupon.
I used to be a Groupon girly.
They hate Groupon because they think, or they hear, oh, they take all your money, but you got to know how to finesse it so you can get your money.
Are you on Groupon?
Girl, yes. Groupon. I went back and looked at my numbers, and I'm going to just spit it out there. Over the last, 3 years, I guess, 3 years, because I'm in my 4th year in business, I made like almost $100,000 on Groupon. Oh, wow. Like,
I need to get into that. I forgot about Groupon.
What you have to realize is, okay, yeah, they take a percentage of your money. It's changed over the years, because they used to be only you can do 50% off. Now you can make it as low as like 20%. Oh, wow. But you got to learn how to flip it when they come in there. So the thing is, you got to have either packages, have an upgrade of some sort, so that you can flip an add-on, and that's where you make your money. Right. That, and like putting like your number in the description. Little free gems I'm giving y'all. Y'all better be taking some notes. But
I forgot about Groupon.
Yeah, you put your number in there. So if you put your number in there, like saying like, oh, call for questions, they're automatically gonna call, because they might not know about the service and they just have questions.
Do you feel like you get like a certain group of people that book through Groupon, like certain age group?
It's a variety. People be on Groupon. I be on Groupon. So people will be on Groupon. It's just a variety. I will say when I first started, I had like a lot of issues with Groupon, like cancellation and stuff like that. But over the time, I've got a lot of quality clients off of there. But yeah, you put your number on there, they call, you get them off of Groupon. Tell them you go.
So if they cancel, do you lose out?
If they cancel, you will lose out essentially.
Right. Because from what I remember doing Groupon is you pay for it right then and there, and then
they pay to Groupon, and then you don't get paid till they scan it.
Gotcha.
So you could have something where when they book on your line, they put on your website that they put your card number in, so you can still do that deposit or a cancellation fee type thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that deposit.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely make it work for you.
Right.
For sure. Okay. But yeah,
I forgot about Groupon. I used to use it all the time to go bowling and do all the things.
And you put the brows on there. You could put something on. I probably wouldn't put henna art on there, but you could do like the brows or something like that.
Yeah, I would probably do that.
Something that's not like, if they do cancel or you can't get that money, it's not like, dang, you just large slot, a lot of money I lost at it. So something to look into. Look into Groupon if you're looking to make some extra coins, because Groupon will definitely get you some money for sure. People be on Groupon. Gems. They be on Groupon. They love it. Okay, so what's the best piece of feedback that you've got from a client?
Man, that's a hard question. Like constructive criticism?
Or just, we already touched on like you getting like really good thank you, and they really liked your work. But yeah.
I don't think I've really gotten, I guess, criticism.
No? Oh, that's good.
I mean, I've had difficult clients.
Okay.
Who like I look back and I'm like, it's not on me. You failed to communicate this. Like I'm squeezing you in. I've had those instances. I think the only time I really had, issues where I felt guilty for it, or I feel like, that's something I need to work on, is maybe like time management, which I feel like I do really good. I over communicate all the time, even if I feel like I might be 2-3 minutes late. Like I'm letting you know as far in advance as I can, because if I'm gonna be 5 minutes late, servicing you, you could have been not rushing, you could have pumped gas, that could avoid an accident of you rushing, things like that. So I really try to over communicate, but there are those times where it's like you forget, or it's just your day's so crammed, and then people are waiting for you, and then you run out of time. So I've had a couple of those instances where I've wasted my client's time and I felt really guilty for it. Of course, I tried to compensate for that, or, send them back their deposit, or comp the remaining balance for the next appointment. But, sometimes I've also had people that just never came back. Yeah. Because of that, and you make these mistakes, but you learn from it.
Absolutely, yeah. For sure. I've had those. Yeah. We live and we learn. Yeah. For sure. But as long as we learn from it and grow from it,
I definitely learn. Because I'm like a people pleaser, so I really felt bad. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like thinking about it all day. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
what can I do? Come back.
Like you don't have to come back, but don't be mad at me. Right. Right. So yeah.
For sure. If you could hint at anybody in the world, who's your dream client?
My dream client would be her.
Yes.
Her. If you're watching, let me do your henna, girl. I already DM'd you. And
checking the request. Yes. It's over there.
And I would say her and Janae Aiko.
Yes.
Just because vibes, energy, and I feel like it would be fitting. I know that her has gotten henna done before. I've seen it on her page, on her tiny desk. But I would say those two are my dream. Right. One of my goals is to do more celebrity henna. But obviously, like I said, like not all money is good money. Right. Not all, you might attract the wrong energy. Right. And sometimes, no matter how much someone is paying, if you're uncomfortable sitting there servicing somebody, you would just want to get the hell out of there. Like it's not even worth it, Right. So, yeah.
Okay.
I would love to do
Y'all
henna.
see this podcast? You hit my girl up. I'm like, yeah. She said it on my podcast. Yes. What is the most common misconception people have about henna art?
I would say that they believe that it's only for the Indian culture.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Definitely. I've had a couple DMs and stuff about me not being Indian or me not being booked because I'm not Indian.
Shut up.
Yes, girl. But, like some people might take it as cultural appropriation. Some people might get offended. What I learned is that you cannot be upset at somebody for being offended because that's just how they feel. Yeah. You kind of just move on, or opinion. You're entitled to it, so. Yeah, a lot of times I walk into these henna nights for Indian brides and stuff like that, and they see me walk in and they're just like,
who are you?
You're the henna artist? Yeah. And then they see me work and they're like, oh shit, like you're really good,
Don't judge
and I'm nice. Yeah, and I'm really nice. So I think that's definitely the biggest misconception about being a henna artist or just the henna industry in general. But there's so many people from different walks of life, different races, different ages. There's like women in their 60s doing henna, white women, Asian women, African American women. So
do kids get it? I know
all the time. When I was first doing henna at Big Hat Days, I had mainly kids.
Girl, I'm glad my daughter ain't up here to hear. She'll be like, girl, you got your stuff.
Make sure she don't watch this episode.
You got your stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I work with 100% natural henna. I make it myself. So that's definitely safe for any skin type. Okay. Unless for some reason someone's allergic to lavender oil, because I use lavender oil in my paste. But yeah, it's safe for kids. Some parents don't want them to get it because they don't want them to have it at school because they think that they will get in trouble. Okay. But
that's how we can ask.
Yeah. Us. Or just do it until you're told not to.
Right.
What are they going to do? It just fades.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna talk offline because we
Yeah.
got a little birthday party coming up. So
Okay.
okay. So how do you keep up? Is there trends when it comes to henna in the henna world? And if there are, how do you keep up to it with them?
I mean, just trying them. There's always different, we call them elements or motifs.
Okay.
There's different things that will start to trend, like certain type of grids or images where you start seeing more of. If it catches my attention and I like it, I'll try it.
Okay.
Or if I'm feeling really inspired, I will book someone for free and be like, hey, let me do something on your hand and just practice it and make sure I get content and whatnot. But yeah, it's really just going in and doing it. I don't sit here and watch henna videos, to be completely honest with you, which I probably should. I do scroll through my feed. But really it's just like trying it, you know, as an artist, you're not going to like everything that you see. It might not be your thing. Like I have a certain style. So I try to stick to that, but I do try new things and sometimes I like it. Okay. And then I just keep doing it and then I incorporate it in my designs a little bit more. So
right. So when it comes to henna, because do you draw them first or is it all freehand?
It's all freehand.
So like this is how I'm flowing. Oh, that's dope.
I always prefer to freestyle.
Yeah.
Like when my clients book, when they book, you know, a certain henna design, it's always a little bit cheaper if you just let me freestyle.
Yeah. But do they send you like inspiration and then you put your own twist on it?
Yeah. Okay. I prefer inspiration because then I kind of have an idea of how full or heavy they want to go, what style. And so I know how long the appointment's going to take because everyone's appointment slot is different. Okay. And I try to make sure that like it doesn't go over their time slot because I book my clients back to back. And I value their time. So I don't like to be like, oh, I'm still working. Like you're going to have to wait a little bit because I'm still on this client. Okay. But yeah.
I love that. Okay, girl. We really know what the role, but what is the role that social media plays in your business? I mean, it's large on everybody, but
yes, I don't think
is yours more social media like referral or is it more word of mouth?
It's both, but I don't think that my business will be where it's at without Instagram.
Right.
Because I mean, I started on Instagram. Right. People find me on Instagram. The creative like shoots that I do, they can see, or people sharing my things, and then hashtags work.
They do for sure.
Because I ask my clients all the time, like, "How did you find me?" And they're just like, "Hashtags, girl, hashtags." So yeah, it plays it's probably like the biggest part of my business. If my Instagram was to shut down right now, I would be devastated.
I think I would too, but
because my bookings.
But you got emails.
Yeah, but
okay. Are you on Google? Do you have a Google My Business?
No, I just was talking to my friend about it yesterday.
We need to talk about that. Yes.
Yeah.
You definitely need that, and you need to go through all your old clients and tell them to go do reviews.
Yeah.
Because Google is up right now.
Yeah, we were saying too how the perks of doing Google is people will find you because you Google everything. I Google everything, you know? But that also leaves room for people to leave, like haters or whoever, to leave like poor reviews.
Well, I mean, there's ways around. I mean, if it's randoms, there's a way to get those taken down. Okay. Because you can report them like as not being a client. So there's ways around that. I'll help you with that. But you definitely should do a Google My Business and get all those Google reviews because I know you got a lot of them. Yeah. And just tell them, and you can even throw them and send them, like with my clients, I'll be like, oh, I'll give you $5 off, $10 off to go do a Google review. Or while they're in there, you can get a QR code. Ones. Yeah, you can get a QR code and be like, while they're in there, be like, hey, scan this on the way out and do a review. It doesn't take that long. Or send out
$5 for a 5-star review.
Period. But yeah, it definitely does because like recently, it used to be like, it still is Instagram, but I have noticed like recently a lot of people said they found me off of Google. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I need to get on that. We were just talking about it yesterday. So and then I want to get on TikTok too. But
ooh, child, that's a whole nother ball. Girl, it's social media be social media because that's even word like social media is so hard. This is too much.
Too many buttons and it's like TikTok, I can't edit no damn TikTok video, so I'm gonna just repost what I got.
Well, you can really use what you have on the platforms to just upload it on all the platforms. For sure. Yeah,
but that's what Bianca told me too. She's like, just post on there. Yeah, like, even if
I think you should do like more like tutorial style on there. Yeah,
those are the ones I think I got the most views doing that. But that's hard to do.
Voiceovers and stuff. I hate doing
tutorials and stuff.
I'm not. I can't do voiceovers.
Yeah,
How are you with that?
I don't mind voiceovers. I feel like I can do it quick, but like just like
But-
doing the work with one hand. I use both of my hands essentially for working, but like trying to record and do the art, it's hard.
Maybe just set up a tripod with recording it and then do the voiceover explaining what you're doing.
Right. But with the tripod, trust me, I tried it. With the tripod is because I hover over my canvas, it just gets in the way so you don't get anything. My best content, like even on my Instagram where I was getting like thousands of views, is when I have someone else recording for me, especially with the macro lens. But with the macro lens, you got to be like this close. And I'm like, girl, you in my way, you know?
We're going to have to talk to Jerry. He might tell you how to do
Yeah,
this.
I'm sure.
He's going to have to put you on because
I'll
I'm
holla
pretty sure you can get an angle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even I think like on CapCut, they have a slow zoom. So it could be back far and you could zoom in.
Gotcha.
With just the regular video, it'll automatically zoom it in. So we're going to talk to him. He's going to put you on. Let's talk about community work. So tell us some ways that you get back to the community.
I offer free henna for patients who suffer from hair loss from cancer. So we call them henna crowns or crowns of courage. So
I love that.
we deck out their head with henna designs, and it's so pretty.
Oh my goodness.
And they feel beautiful.
Absolutely.
You know, I love that. I don't get a lot of them, but I think because people don't realize that I offer that. Because it goes in a circle. Like I don't do a lot of it, so I don't post a lot of it, so people don't know. But once I post, then people know.
Is there a way that you can like reach out to like the hospitals or like the clinics to kind of so that
sure
they
I
would
can.
know to kind of give that to like maybe people that are on their way out?
Yeah, that's a
from
good idea.
From treatment and stuff like that, kind of like a boost of confidence when they're done with their treatment type thing, or even during treatment, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't interfere with anything. So
Yeah, I should definitely do that. I did not think about doing that. I did have people reach out to me before, like I did henna on this young girl at Valley Children's. Her last wish was getting like a henna or a butterfly tattoo like her sister. She had also lost her mom the year prior to COVID, so it was just her and her older sister, which is like she was like 21, and she passed a couple weeks after, so her sister is just by herself. But doing that was very rewarding.
absolutely.
And then I spent a lot of time at Valley Children's as a kid. That was like my second home. So that was also like another full circle moment for me as well too. But being able to do that was really cool. And then every year I offer free henna to certain service providers, and I do like a Labor Day henna reel where I just have them come in, make sure it's to make sure they take a day off,
right?
Because we don't. I mean, you worked today,
right?
So it's pretty much to give them some time off, especially those who are really busy in the service industry. So I bring them in, do their henna, make them feel cute, and just make like a little reel out of it. And
we gotta do a collab. We can do like facials and henna.
Yeah. I've done collabs with like lashes too, where they're getting their lashes done, and I just do their henna.
Oh, I love that. Oh yeah. We about to collab. What? We kind of touched on. I'm gonna jump back a little bit. What is the challenging part of work-life balance?
Time management.
The time management, yeah.
With the kid. Well, now especially with having the baby, like I can't book clients whenever I want.
Yeah.
And like I'm like selective on who watches my baby, which is just me or her dad.
Right.
Maybe my sister-in-law and my brother, but they work during the day, regular jobs. So
do you think you'll ever like be able to let her go to like daycare or something like that? I know it's hard. There's stuff we got to do.
At the minimum, she'll have to be able to talk.
Okay.
Because listen, we are not. We ain't taking those risks.
Uh-oh.
No.
No,
absolutely not. Like now I get it when they're like, parents are like, I'll go to jail for my baby.
Me too.
I get it.
It takes you having a kid because before like, girl, you tripping, but it's like, no.
But I get it.
Especially when you see all the stuff like the world we living in. Like these people be crazy doing some wild shit in these daycares. Like, what would possess you to do some of the stuff that you see?
Yes. And then I worked in education for a really long time, like 13 years before I left, and I worked with social emotional students who had trauma and who have been abused or coming from a broken home, things like that. So I see what it does to children and to the parents as well
Absolutely.
too. And sometimes I feel like trauma from when they're little could be out of the parents' control can kind of like diminish their relationship, and that affects the child in school and affects them as adults. You know,
sure.
so I always tell people like once the damage is done, it's done. Like there's no way of fixing it. You have to be proactive and not reactive, you know? So daycare can wait. I'll be broke at home.
Before let you take care of my baby.
Yeah, no.
Oh my goodness. Finally, let's talk about what's next for you and your business, and let's talk about any new exciting projects that you have coming up.
For my business, I mean, we've been kind of looking to expand to a bigger space.
Nice.
But not in a rush to. Yeah. I would like to, but the way the economy is right now, it's like, is it even worth it to go to a bigger space and pay more money when I'm doing just fine here? But I really want to tap back into doing creative projects and doing more shoots, video shoots, photo shoots, things like that, just to, you know, feel like more inspired and more motivated to work. You know, like even though being a business owner, like you don't feel like you're working because you love what you do, but sometimes you feel like you're working, girl. You're tired.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I've been this past year after having the baby, I've been really trying to tap back into being creative and feeling inspired, feeling motivated, wanting to do more projects, wanting to do more. And I think that is going to have to come from doing these creative photo shoots and video shoots.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
And I also want to expand the education as well too.
I think that'd be dope.
I really want to teach a bigger class, like a master class.
I can see you going on tour with this.
Yeah. But like it's like you said earlier, like what advice do you have for people who want to pursue henna, but people are scared to?
Yeah.
You know, they think like, oh, I can barely even draw a stick figure, you know? But I feel like
there'd be levels to it, like stages to the classes and stuff until you get to the master part. Advanced class, beginner.
Exactly, yeah. And I feel like everyone has the ability to create and to be creative. Some people are just born with it. So like my race might be shorter than yours to a mastery, you know? Not that you can't achieve it. It's just because I might have been born with, you know, like more creativity. Right. I might get there quicker or, you know, things like that. So I really want to be able to teach a master class. And because I worked in education for so long, it really helped me maneuver through those trainings and teach really solid trainings. Yeah. But it's just getting people to not be scared.
Right.
And just do it. Yeah. And it's taking a risk because you invest your time and your money.
Right.
And then it's like sometimes like you're like, what if it's going to flop?
Right.
You know?
So I want to do this type thing.
Yeah. But before I do that, it's been on pause, but I started working on an online course, which I've had people ask about because they live out of state, or out of country or whatever. So yeah, working on an online course for henna and henna brows.
That's nice. I like that. That expansion, just to circle back around to the expansion thing, and you were talking about the economy. I would look in if you look into a big space to have multiple rooms. That's how I got this space, but not the intentions of renting out rooms.
Right.
And then it came to a spot. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me rent out some rooms, and that will give you that cushion. Like we're in a bad economy right now, but it pays for the space.
Yeah, so. that's definitely what
people
we
are
want to do.
always looking for spots. They are. A lot of people have independent business, service based, and they need a cute little suite. So
I don't want to expand to a new spot just so I can have more room. Okay. But I do want a space where we can rent it out to other people. For like you said, like that extra space. Yeah, for the extra cushion as well too.
Yeah, for sure.
And I actually like you know, when you go and get your own studio, it's because you want privacy for you and your clients. I mean, your field is a little bit different because you might be a little bit more intimate. But I like working with people. Yeah. Or like, you know, I have a studio co-owner and I love it when she's there. I hate when she's not working. And I'm like, girl, do you work here anymore? Even if we're not talking, but just knowing that she's there in the company, I like it.
I feel that because when the girls are not here, I'm like, oh, it's quiet in here.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. For sure. Well, thank you so much. Tell everybody how they can find you, because you got to hit the girl up and get some henna and get some classes.
Yes, you can find me on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook as Henna by Jazzie or Jazzie Inks if you want your brows hit. And also follow the Alphas with Love, where we host retreats and events and resources for other women in business.
Yes. Thank you so much. It has been fun as usual. And y'all, stay tuned to the next episode. Thanks.